freestyle rap at all?
Not yet.
Doesn't it appear to be extremely coincidental that you guys arrest people right outside of Governor Newsom's press conference? Is this really just a show of power?
All right, Secret Service Sam, welcome to Samson's World. Welcome everybody into the feed. Welcome to Samson's World, where court, comedy, culture, and your world collide. This is Samson's World. We are coming live to you from Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, all over the webs to get all up in your internet ass. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Taco Tuesday. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Wouldn't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Now, you guys, big day, big news. Every single day is big news. Let's start rolling down the news cycle for you guys tuning in now. Let's see. I don't know if you guys heard about this story. It's pretty hilarious. Dayton James Weber, a quadruple amputee cornhole player, is wanted for murder, which is insane because you're probably saying, Sam, how the hell is a guy with no arms and no legs commit murder? But then there's a video of this dude shooting a gun. Hold on, I got to pull this up for you. This is insane. James Weber, quadruple amputee. You got to see this video. So he's accused of murder. Bradrick Michael Wells, 22nd of March. Okay, let me pull this video in for you real quick. Now, let me see. You have to see him shooting a gun. It is wild. Where is that video? I mean, you just can't even believe, like, how did this guy do this? I mean, it goes to show, like, anything is possible. You know what I mean? It's kind of, you know, you got to give the guy a hand. Hold on, let me pull this video in. I mean, you have to see him shooting a gun. Moa. Yeah, hey, Moa. How you doing, man? 82nd Airborne deployed to the Middle East. Oh, Lord. Yep, just when they said there wouldn't be boots on the ground, there are going to be boots on the ground. This is going to be a never-ending war, man. Because Trump is lying that Iran is giving up. And then supposedly Trump just said Iran gave him a present and now he's good. You know, that's all you got to do is just give the emperor his present that he wants. Let me look up this video real quick and then we'll get into it. Because it's unbelievable how this guy is able to do it. Let me see. Where is it? Let me see. Where's the... Oh, here we go. This is nuts. This is in Spanish, but it doesn't matter. You'll get the point. I mean, yo, this guy is crazy. And somebody got mad at me over on Instagram because I put quadriplegic instead of quadruple amputee. So I apologize. And look, obviously, you know, I have a lot of friends who are disabled, wheelchairs, the whole gamut. So I'm not sitting here making fun of anybody with disabilities, but it is quite humorous and amazing that this guy is able to do so much with limited stuff. Here is the video of him shooting the gun. Hold on, let me see. Here's the report too. Here's where you got to see. Let's pull this. Let's watch this first real quick.
Cornhole player has been accused of fatally shooting a passenger in his car, police in Maryland say. Dayton James Weber was arrested in connection with the death of Bradrick Michael Wells, police said in a statement. The Charles County Sheriff's Office said that on the 22nd of March, police were flagged down by 2 people in La Plata. They told police that Weber shot and killed the front seat passenger of his car during an argument while they were sitting in the back seat. Weber asked the passengers to move the victim from the car, which they refused to do, the statement said. The passengers then got out of the car and left the scene. Police say Weber then fled with the victim in the car. Later that evening, the body of Bradrick Michael Wells was found in a yard in Charlotte Hall, Maryland. Weber was located in Charlottesville, Virginia, where police say he was at a hospital seeking treatment for a medical issue. He was arrested and charged as a fugitive from justice, where he's awaiting extradition to Charles County to face first
Somebody made the joke saying he is armless and dangerous.
and second-degree murder charges. CNN has been unable to contact a legal representative for Weber. Dayton Weber was the first and only quadruple amputee to play professional cornhole in the American Cornhole League. Video from his social media shows Weber practicing cornhole and competing in events. The league said it wouldn't comment on the ongoing case. At 10 months old, Weber was given a 3% chance of survival after contracting a rare blood infection, according to an ESPN documentary. Doctors amputated both his arms and his legs to stop the infection from spreading. The investigation is ongoing.
I mean, but look at him throw it. And the guy is like, he is so good at cornhole. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, look at this video of him shooting a gun.
Un Américain amputé des 4 membres est accusé d'avoir tué un homme en lui tirant dessus. Voici ce que l'on sait. Dayton James Weber, âgé de 27 ans, est un joueur professionnel de cornhole. Amputé des 4 membres à l'âge de 10 mois après une grave infection sanguine, il s'est fait connaître pour sa capacité à manier des armes à feu avec une grande précision, malgré son handicap, comme en témoignent plusieurs vidéos publiées sur les réseaux sociaux. Le 22 mars dernier, à La Plata dans le Maryland, il se trouvait au volant d'un véhicule avec Bradrick Michael Wells, également âgé de 27 ans, installé à l'avant. Selon les premiers éléments de l'enquête, une altercation aurait éclaté entre les 2 hommes. Au cours de cette dispute, Dayton Weber aurait sorti une arme avant de tirer sur son passager. Après les faits, il aurait demandé aux 2 personnes assises à l'arrière de l'aider à se débarrasser du corps. Ces derniers ont refusé, sont descendus du véhicule et ont immédiatement prévenu les autorités. Le suspect a ensuite pris la fuite avec la victime toujours à bord. Environ 2 heures plus tard, le corps de Bradrick Michael Wells a été retrouvé dans un jardin à Charlotte Hall, à une quinzaine de kilomètres. Il était déjà décédé. Dayton Weber a finalement été interpellé en Virginie quelques heures après les faits. Actuellement placé en détention, il fait l'objet d'une demande d'extradition vers le comté de Charles et est poursuivi pour meurtre au premier degré, meurtre.
And it just looks like he threw his whole life down the cornhole. Yeah, it was French Teresa. Sorry, it's the only video I could find on it right now. Anybody speak French who can translate? Silky Sweet, hello, Sam. I'm doing better today. Got rest. Made an appointment with the doctor April 1st to go see him and get results on the biopsy. Great. I will be praying for you, as I said, Silky Sweet. I have been. And actually, I have a comedy show in Naples, Florida on April 1st. So I will be bringing in the yuck yuck laughs for you. And hopefully you've got some great news for us on that day. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, I mean, this shutdown at the TSA and with airports is insane. It hasn't happened yet at LAX where they brought in ICE, but everybody is just saying, like, what is ICE doing? All I see is videos and pictures of them standing around, picking their noses, looking on their cell phones, harassing Americans. I saw the video I played for you guys yesterday of them arresting some poor woman. She's crying. It's crazy, man. Yeah, lock this Duck Dynasty ass up. That's funny, Moa. But it's just crazy. Did you guys see the crash that happened yesterday or 2 days ago? Look at this video. This is just crazy. And they're saying they believe because it was usually the incoming planes and the ground traffic are 2 different guys, but they're saying they could hear the guy's voice and it's the same dude. And look at this plane. It hits. Can you guys see that? Let me play that sucker again for you. It's crazy. Oh, God. Look at it right here. This is insane. Boom. I mean, how does that happen, man? And people are saying that Donald Trump is to blame for this. Everybody, we like to place blame and point the finger. It's the Democrats. It's the Republicans. But from my knowledge, the Democrats have tried 7 different bills to pass, which are just saying they're compartmentalizing it. Like, look, we need to rein in ICE, okay? They've gone too far. They've killed, multiple American citizens. They're not using warrants real warrants, and they're harassing American citizens, and they're not handling the deportation process well at all. It's creating more chaos than I believe it's creating good. So the Democrats have tried to pass 7 bills. Now, Republicans, they're voting down, but also ultimately Trump says he is not doing anything. He is not budging all this until they pass the SAVE Act. Now, a lot of people say, hey, the SAVE Act is great. We should all want to not have illegal people vote in our elections. I understand that. But then Trump actually did mail-in voting himself from Florida, which is the irony because he's trying to ban it. The SAVE Act is going to require you can't have your driver's license, but we do have the Real ID, which says if you're an American citizen. But the problem is I still don't have my Real ID. I have to get it. A lot of people don't have a passport. I think they said almost 50% of Americans do not have passports. Then if you're a married woman and your passport does not match your marriage license, you have to go to the state where you got your marriage license and get, it's just a lot of extra work. Now, I don't think anybody wants anybody illegally voting. We want our elections to be free and fair, but Donald Trump is actively trying to meddle in our elections. And let me read something to you before I bring up Senator Ted Kennedy, not Ted Kennedy, but who basically is blaming this shutdown on Trump because Trump will not move. He's like, I'm not doing anything unless the Democrats agree to his shit. Hold on one second. Where is that picture I had? Hold on. Here it is. And this is what's crazy. This is all Project 2025. This is from page 159 of Project 2025. It proposes, listen up, privatizing TSA screening, shifting airport security from federal workers to private contractors under a government overseer. It also calls for deunionizing TSA workers immediately and cutting costs by 50 to 20%. So Project 2025 is very real and it's been at play. The document outlines replacing federal screeners with private companies while TSA keeps oversight alongside broader plans to downsize and restructure federal agencies. Today's reality shows a system under pressure with staffing gaps and temporary fixes that mirror early stages of that shift, raising questions about whether short-term measures could become long-term structural measures. So I think this is what we have to be aware of. Like, this is all in their plan, you guys. Project 2025 is alive and well, and it's Donald Trump wants a dictatorship. All right. And I don't care which side of the aisle you fall on. You should fall on the side of the Constitution no matter what. Stuart's got something to say. Democrats want ICE defunded, period. End of story. No negotiations. Sorry, it's not happening, says Stuart. We can't even get U.S. citizens to turn out to vote, says Teresa. When TFFFFF are they going to initiate Article 25? Our country is being run by a compromised, demented moron who is literally going to start or allow Israel to a goddamn nuclear war. Yeah, I agree. It's getting very scary. Was that real or AI? Are you talking about the plane crash? It is real. I believe it happened at JFK Airport. The little corgi led them home to their families as a group was from the same town. Animals are awesome. Okay, and I'll email you that day. Also sent 2 emails today of news, and one is dogs escaping after being kidnapped by dog meat kidnappers. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Dog meat kidnappers. Never heard of that. Yeah, I mean, look, Stuart, I don't want ICE completely defunded. I think we have to get the rapists, the killers out, but I do agree that ICE needs to be reined in. I don't want to live in a country where I walk down the street and somebody can say, show me your papers. That's not our country. That is LaGuardia Airport. Thank you, Stuart, for that correction. It was LaGuardia, not JFK. 2 pilots died. Jeez, that's so freaking terrible. And I can't imagine, did the people in that fire truck survive? I mean, it looks like it got clearly ran over. I mean, it's just, guys, we got to come together. You know what I mean? We have to find some middle ground in all this chaos. And it's like we have to stop placing blame on each other. We need somebody to unify us. And right now it is not happening. Here's what Senator Kennedy said about about the government shutdown.
I came up with a plan. We said, look, it's a two-step process. The Democrats have offered to open up everything but ICE.
Everything but ICE.
Ted and I said, okay, let's accept their offer. And then at the same time, we would offer a bill for reconciliation where we don't need any Democratic votes to do whatever we wanted to do with ICE. And that way we're out of the shutdown and DHS is back open.
Right.
We submitted that. Senator Thune submitted that to President Trump, as is his right. He said no. No deals with the Democrats. It would have worked. We could have had TSA paid by the end of the week. But the president said no deal.
I mean, I think that's what's happening. Is they want, look, if the SAVE Act passes, it passes, but you cannot literally hold American people hostage in the most busiest week of airline travel. It is spring break. This week, next week, to all schools is spring break. It's not fair to ruin people's vacations. And also, how is ICE helping? I have not seen one video of ICE making these lines shorter. Has anybody flown in this last week who can tell me? I'm about to fly this weekend, so I'll let you guys know what the airports are looking like. But it just is like, again, it seems Americans suffer, right? The Democrats or Republicans, they cannot come to an agreement, so we suffer. And it's, largely, I think President Trump wants to do these things, so people are mad at the Democrats. This guy is trying to ruin this country, says Moa. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it seems that way, and it all goes back to the Epstein files. It all goes back to the Epstein files. It's like they won't release them, right? And it's just like, if Trump is not on those Epstein files, and what does he have to lose by releasing and unredacting everything? I love how they keep saying, oh, we don't want the victims' names to come out, but they already let the victims. I swear to God, they have outed more victims on the Epstein files than they have elites, billionaire elites, Hollywood elites. There's something going on with Bill Gates, Jeffrey Epstein. It's just crazy. It's all related to this war. It's all related to what is happening now. The Strait of Hormuz is open to everybody but U.S. and Israel. And now we, again, have to pay the price. We have to pay higher prices of gas. Oil barrels are going through the roof. Also, Trump was caught allegedly with market manipulation because he's saying, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We have a deal. Stocks went up. Oil prices dropped. But then the next day, Iran is like, he's lying. I mean, that's the thing. We need a president who is not compromised by anyone, who they don't have any stink on him, so he can run us and our country effectively. I think the problem is with Trump, as we're seeing, is that he's compromised, whether it's Putin who has information on him, whether it's Bibi Netanyahu, somebody is blackmailing Donald Trump. That is my belief. That's my opinion. If you don't agree, please let me know in the comments. But again, if Trump had nothing to do on these Epstein files, let's assume for a minute that he was an informant, okay? Then why is he not informing us? Why is like Prince Andrew been arrested? Why have all these other people in other countries lost jobs and are being arrested because of this Epstein list, but we're the only country who's doing nothing about it? It makes no sense. Moa, anything to keep us asking for the files. But the crazy part is he'd rather burnt this country to the ground than him and his homies going to jail. Exactly. Stuart says, if Biden, Harris, Garland, and Mayorkas and the rest of those clowns did their jobs and enforce our immigration laws, none of this would be happening. I don't know. I think there would still be something happening. And again, Stuart, let's try to not just stick the blame on one person. It's all politicians, right? And again, let's quit looking in the past. It's Donald Trump's economy now, and the economy is in the shitter. Okay. I talked to a lot of people. They were even Trumpers, and they were saying even during Biden, they were doing better. So it's not, for me, it's not Democrat, it's not Republican. It's how is my wallet feeling, right? And my wallet is hurting. A lot of Americans are hurting. The job market is shit right now. Okay, so the gas prices are skyrocketing, and guess what? They're going to keep going up. Did you see in Texas, one of the largest oil refineries blew up, is on fire? So it's like, and I know what you're saying. You're like, well, Sam, you're blaming Trump right now, but he's in the office right now. You know what I mean? He can change this. He can end this shutdown right now. I mean, the Republicans control the House and the Senate, so I just don't understand. And look, all Democrats, I just saw, Gavin Newsom said, I guess now he's a Zionist, which makes me kind of sad because I don't know, Zionism, I don't totally agree with it. I just saw this video that's going around of this Palestinian father, and people say, oh, Sam, you're falling for propaganda. But I've seen this video. Tell me if it's AI. Tell me if it's wrong. Of a baby that they wanted the father to confess to some crime, and they drove a nail through this baby's knee. They burnt the baby's legs with cigarette butts. Tell me it's fake. Tell me I'm wrong. But I mean, and look, I know Iran, it's not, they've killed their own people. That leadership needs to be taken out, obviously, but I don't think Iranians are terrible people, obviously. And I'm Jewish. Like, look, I love Israel, but I don't like what Israel is doing. I think in order for Israel to prevail, they need to get rid of Bibi Netanyahu, and they need to accept what's going on. They need to accept it, and they need to give the Palestinians their share of the land. And they can't have these checkpoints where I've seen videos. I've seen it with my own eyes. Tell me if it's not true. I've seen a comedian, Elon Gold, say, oh, it's apartheid. It's not apartheid. Israel isn't doing it. It's like Israel needs to come to grips with there's some shady shit happening. If it's not happening, then prove to the world that it isn't. Again, I'm Jewish. I and it's very conflicting for me to see my own people doing this to another, Palestinians. If you're Muslim, you can't walk down certain streets there. Tell me there isn't an apartheid then, but everything I've seen tells me otherwise. And, Bibi Netanyahu, even they said, yes, TikTok, Dave, TikTok is the one we need to buy, right? We need to shape, you don't have to convince people. It's not a PR thing. It's like, just do unto others as you want done to yourself. What do you guys think? I just think we're being taken over by another country. If this was Spain, if it was Italy, if it was Russia, if it was Canada, and they're like, Canada, we need Canada. We need to do everything for Canada. I'd be like, why the fuck are we riding Canada's dick so hard? We need to get rid of politicians who are in the AIPAC lobby. And I think that's a problem. Gavin Newsom just said it. He just said he's part of AIPAC. He's AIPAC Shakur. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's disappointing because I think Gavin Newsom has a chance to be our next president, to actually beat Trump. I like a lot of the things he's saying, but you can't win if you're taking AIPAC money. But then we can't afford, Trump wants to do a third term. I don't know. We're in a real pickle now as a country. Moha says, right, we can see what's happening because now everyone has phones and cameras. TikTok go away because they banning everything and everyone. Yeah, I mean, that's a problem. I had a friend who's like, oh, Sam, you're falling for the propaganda, and I know terrible things have happened in Israel. I know there's been they've been bombed and everything like that. But at some point, if you free the Palestinians, if you free up these checkpoints, then we can start to heal Israel and the reputation. But the problem right now, I mean, you saw Charlie Kirk. He was going against that, and look what happened to him. It's dangerous to talk like this, but you know, when all of our politicians are just saying, oh, I love it, I love it, I love it, there's something off about it. Both sides are bought. We need to do away with all of our politicians. We need to clean house on all the Democrats, all the Republicans. We need a new wave. And that's what they're doing. That's what Israel is doing. It's creating more anti-Semitism. And it kills me. I had a guy at a comedy show after, because I was talking about being Jewish, came up and called me the devil. You know, I'm being blamed as a Jewish man for what Israel is doing to Palestinians. And to me, it's not fair, but I also can understand. It's just it's very hard. OMG, I saw the pics of that poor baby. I definitely believe it. They're ruthless murderers. Yeah, I don't know. Let me pull up the baby just so you can see it with your own eyes and tell me. Now, look, I know, you know, they say Hamas has done this, Hamas has done that. Okay. I'm not saying, I'm not, you know, they're saying, oh, Sam, you're anti-Semite. I'm Jewish. Like, come on now. Let me see if I can find this.
To coerce people into signing these documents from the Gaza Strip.
I mean, I see videos of kids being arrested. It's just painful, man. It's painful. And it's like, it's just, like I said, it creates more anti-Semitism. I'm going to bring in this video. Viewer discretion is advised. You're also full of crap. You did not see the big picture. You're a bunch of hypocrites and bitches. Shut the F up. Victor, what are you even talking about? I don't know what you're saying. Hamas uses Palestinians as human shields. I mean, they've said that, right? But it's just, there's a lot of propaganda, Stuart. You know what I mean? Why did it take Israel, the best military in the world, the highest of technology? Why did they wait 6 hours to save everybody on October 7th? That's just a question I have also. Look, Hamas is not good, but you can separate Palestinians from Hamas. You know what I mean? I mean, this is crazy. Let me pull this video in. It's just too much. There's too much hurt going on in the world. We need to figure it out, right? And I know we can't save everybody. We have to save ourselves first. We have to save Americans first, but Lord, let me bring in this video. It's, you know, viewer discretion is advised here. You know, and also it just doesn't, why are, you know, how many journalists have been killed? I mean, look at that. Kid had cigarette burns on his legs. They drove a nail through his leg. Yeah, Moab said Hamas does bad stuff, but that doesn't mean 2+ years of torturing whole people. And there's more. It's before October 7th, you know? Look, it's a little baby. Come on, guys. I don't know. It's really hard. Again, if anybody wants to come on the show and discuss this further, any of these topics, I always love when people like to come on the show and share your knowledge. We know Hamas runs Palestine. We know Hamas is a terrorist organization. Let's get real, Sam. Yes, we do know it's a terrorist organization, but I don't believe that all Palestinians are terrorists. I just don't think you can lump all the people in. And we've seen videos. There is an apartheid state happening there now. Is there not? Am I wrong about that? Because I've seen plenty of videos on the internet. I know some, oh, the videos on the internet, but I mean, It's just out there. I mean, what about the Israeli soldiers who raped that Palestinian detainee, and then they got off, and then they got celebrated? They raped him with a knife. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, just do unto others as you want done to yourself. You know, and that's the funny thing. I mean, Hamas is disgusting. What happened October 7th? I'm Jewish, man. Of course it's disgusting. My ancestors went through the Holocaust. You know what I mean? But it's just like, whatever's happening over there, it's just not right. And we need to come to grips. We need to come to grips with it, or else we're never going to get better as a society, as a world global society. Stuart, if you'd like to come on the show and chat, I would love to hear you talk. Awesome and true show today, Sam. Thank you. Thank you, Silky Sweet. It's, you know, this is not easy. I had a friend is saying, oh, Sam, you're falling for propaganda. It's like, what propaganda? You know, and all I'm expressing is just say I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong about this. The worldview of Israel right now and Jewish people is not good. And I don't like it. I'm Jewish. I dealt with anti-Semitism my whole entire life growing up. I had people call me a Jew. I had Sam, don't Jew me down on a bill. Don't Jew out the tip. Don't Jew the tip, Sam. People, even when I was in middle school, the anti-Semitism got so bad that our parents, we had to go to school and let them know what was going on because kids were harassing us so much that kids started calling us wedges, W-E-J, Jew spelled backwards. And then the teachers had no clue. They'd be like, Sam, don't be a wedge. And the teachers are like, what's so bad? What's a wedge? Like they're thinking a wedge in a door or something, like, don't be that. I've dealt with them. I even had, they do this. Sam, oh, look, here's Sam's nose. Here's Sam's nose. I dealt with anti-Semitism my entire freaking life. So to see it being on the world stage now, nobody even knew anything about Israel 2 years ago. Nobody knew anything about the AIPAC, the lobbying, and all of our politicians being bought. Let me be clear. Our politicians should not be bought by anyone. Not any one country should control us. If we're America, if we're the United States of America, we're supposed to lead the way. But guess what? Our politicians are being bought out by AIPAC now. It's just the truth. If it's a lie, tell me so. October 7th was disgusting. Nobody is ever saying that it wasn't. Hamas is a terrorist organization that's disgusting. Nobody is arguing with that. But why is it we're so concerned about Iran having nuclear weapons when we know Israel has nuclear weapons? Nobody should be allowed to have them. What if Iran hits their nuclear plant and then blows everything up? And again, Israel is being blown up right now. How is that good for us? How is that good for Israel? We need to detach from Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump because they both are obviously compromised. That's the truth. That's what I believe is happening. Thank you, Silky Sweet. Your show is not propaganda. Your show speaks truth and honesty of what is going on in our world, and people need to open their eyes to the truth. I mean, I just don't understand it. Yes, our own president is being bought out, and he needs to be impeached now. Yeah, I think that's the issue. I think we just have to cut our losses with Donald Trump. There's a lot of people who are not happy with him, even people who voted for him. He is not America first. He said Kamala was going to get us into a war. And it's him. It is him all along getting us into war. You know? So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I have to get going to pick up my kids soon. If anybody would like to come on the show, I would love to hear your opinion. Stuart, come on, man. You've been watching for a while. Come on and let's chat. I would love to hear your opinion. Media is dead. Journalism and mainstream media is dead. They're buying up everything. You know, even I saw Newsmax ask Trump a question today and he wouldn't answer it. And Newsmax is like his homies. That is like a far-right news organization. But they don't want anybody reporting on what's really going on. And I think that should concern everybody. If any Democratic president was doing any of this shit, I would be rolling so hard for Republicans. I'd easily vote either way. I am for a president that believes in our Constitution, believes in freedom of the press, believes in free speech, and believes in reining in ICE. All right. Anybody who, nobody should want ICE doing what they're doing, and they're not trained. These are just dumbass dudes who came in, men and women who came in, they needed a job. They thought they were going to get a big payday. They're not even getting paid that much, and they're not well trained. There's just no reason they should ever be in our streets. That's not America. They shouldn't be armed guards at our airports. That's not America. I remember going to foreign countries and I'd see dudes with like AKs. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Thank God that doesn't happen here. But it is. It's just, guys, Project 2025 is the downfall of our society. Let me go see the email on the dogs real quick. Hang on, and then I gotta get rolling. Oh, this is terrible. Florida Panther found sleeping on patio, beanbag secretly captured from window. That's cute. Let's see. I'm not seeing the one on the dogs, Silky. Let me see. Oh, the dog story. Okay. 7 dogs in China escaped after being stolen by a dog meat shop and trekked 17 kilometers home. It sounds like a great Disney movie. Heartwarming tale of 7 dogs escaped from captivity in China garners 230 million views. Wow. Oh, that is beautiful. And there's one like big doggy leading him and all. Yeah, I mean, I love pups, man. It's so sad because, dogs, they can't speak up. They're mute. You know what I mean? They can't tell you about the pains. I hate to see anybody abuse animals and dogs. Moa says we need to get him out because he is going to turn us into a third world country and I'm going to have to move back to Sweden, says Moa. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's just we need peace. What do you mean by reining in ICE? Excellent question, Stuart. What I mean by reining in ICE is we shouldn't even know about them. I didn't even know anything about ICE during Biden. I didn't know anything about ICE during Trump's first term, Obama's term. I think to rein in ICE means they can't just go into your home without a legitimate warrant. They can't walk up to anybody and say, hey, you have an accent or your skin color is brown. Let me see. Do you have papers? I just don't agree. That's not America. I think what happened to Renee Good and Alex Preddy did not need to happen. Had they not come in with, Greg Bovino acting all bravado, acting all tough, they don't need to be in our streets. They're border patrol. They need to be at the borders doing their job, keeping illegal people from coming into our country. That's their job. They also should not have a right to wear a mask when they're out. If our police officers can't wear a mask, right? If you ask a police officer for his badge, he has to give it to you. If you ask for a supervisor on the scene, he has to give it to you. They have to be reined in by following the laws, following our Constitution. And that is what I'm saying. ICE should not be showing up to immigrants at court, doing the right thing, going through the legal process to become a citizen. They shouldn't be then arrested. Latinos in our country should not be scared. My son goes to a predominantly Latino high school. ICE has visited their school twice in the last 2 months. Why? Why are they going to high schools? Why should our Latino Americans have to fear? Why should one of my best friends, Hector, who is a United States Marine, why should he have to carry his passport when he walks up the street? He told me, Sam, I carry my passport now. Why? Because he's Latino. Do you think I'm carrying my passport anywhere? No, because people look at me and like, he's American. There cannot be racial profiling by ICE. That is what I mean in terms of reining them in. And I don't think that's unreasonable. I think you can still go after illegal criminals, rapists, drug dealers, whatever. We all agree to get those people out. Who's like, oh yeah, I love those guys. Everybody agrees to get them out of the country, but they're not handling it in a responsible way. Now we just met Mark Wayne Mullen, Mr. Doop, head of DHS. He's worse than Kristi Noem. He's not intelligent. He's more violent than she is. And I want to get back to where people are not kissing ass to the president. We need people who worship the Constitution, not a president, not are scared to say something the president, is not going to like and see him on the news saying something. I want our politicians who are not scared of our president. There needs to be separation of church and state. All right. There's just these small things. A predominantly Latino high school in the United States is crazy to begin with. Not going to lie. What do you mean? I live in LA. I'm the minority in LA. What are you talking about? There's a lot of high schools that are predominantly Latino. And again, why would ICE be coming to visit high schools? Are there drug dealers, rapists, killers, harassing children? Do you know some of my daughter's friends in middle school have been scared to go to school? I mean, how does that not affect you? The only way, the biggest human flaw is that we don't give a shit about things unless it affects our own life. But if you believe on do unto others as you want done to yourself, would you want your daughter scared to go to school because you're dropping her off and you could be arrested, even though you're legal? People are getting, I knew a legal United States citizen who was snatched up, put in jail for 3 days for no reason, no charges, no nothing. Do you know how terrifying that is? That's just not the country I want to live in. That's not America. We are the United States of America, and what makes us strong is all of our beautiful cultures. Every different culture from around the world comes here for the American dream. We all have the potential to live in peace and to do whatever we want. But right now, a lot of people are not getting to experience that. If you're white and you live in the suburbs, you're not experiencing what I'm talking about. But again, if you know people who are suffering due to ICE and these activities, you would be saying the same thing, that we need to rein them in. They should not be allowed to harass our American citizens, whether you're illegal or legal. As long as you're law abiding, and I know people are saying, Sam, an illegal is not law abiding. I get that. But as long as you're not causing any harm, you're a fruit vendor, maybe. You're doing jobs to just keep your family afloat. You've been here for 30 years. I don't want to go after those people. Maybe it's just me, but I think our country needs a real shot of empathy. And just imagine yourself being a first-generation American and being terrified that your parents, if you're pulled over or going to Target to shop or going to the airport to drop somebody off, like that mother in San Francisco, that you can be taken away. It's not right. It's not right to racially profile somebody and say, hey, your accent's funny. Are you from here? That just creates more racism. It's not right. We're America. We're a land of a bunch of beautiful, different accents. And we are a melting pot. So the sooner we get that in our heads, the better it's going to be for everybody. Moha, is this Gestapo land of America? I'm doing too much and are kidnapping Americans 99% of the time. Yep. These people showing they have zero empathy and can't see if it was flipped. It's so humane. That's a problem. If this happened to your family, you'd be saying the same thing I am. Again, Sam, the majority of the country voted to remove people in this country illegally. Trump promised, and he's actually doing it. You don't like the way he's doing it is beyond our control. It's not beyond our control, Stuart, because come the midterms, if they don't have ICE showing up and harassing Americans, because imagine they're saying, oh, we're going to be checking IDs. But what happens if they're arresting Americans who are Latino and who are brown? You know what I mean? This is, I don't agree. Look at the podcast bros. Look at Joe Rogan. Look at Theo Vaughn, look at Andrew Schultz, all these brogans who got Donald Trump elected are saying, I didn't vote for this. I would think, and I think, Stuart, I'm sure you're a good person. I would think you would agree that you want the illegal criminals, drug dealers, rapists out of our country. But if you honestly can say just anybody legal, then you're not living somewhere where you have relationships with Latino people or Black people who are being harmed by these ICE policies. Do you? Do you know Latino people who are sharing with you their stories? Because I do. And I just think we need to have more empathy, even for MAGA. MAGA was tricked by Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not care about anybody but Donald Trump. And he doesn't. And that's why we're in this war, because he's protecting his ass. And that's why he has Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, all these sycophants, all these suck-ups, Stephen Miller, who will do anything he asks. They will eat his shit and grin if asked to. And that's not how it should be. They serve us. We are their bosses. And to answer your question, Stuart, we are going to vote all this out. I guarantee you, if we make it to our elections, that the midterms are going to be a disaster for the Republicans. They've had the floor. They had the time. The economy is in the shitter right now. You can't tell me our economy is doing well right now. There's not a single shred of proof that anybody is killing it but billionaires. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm in LA. I see people dying for jobs. I'm so lucky to have a job. Just tell me differently. Sam, I live in the Houston area. White people are a minority now. I work with Latinos who love Trump. Sure, there are Latinos who love Trump. I understand what you're saying. What's wrong with white people being in the minority? In Houston? Is that true? I mean, well, I guess you're in, Texas. There's a lot of Latinos there. Of course there's Latinos who love Trump, but I don't know. I think that love is going away. And if they do, that's on them. You know what I mean? Because he's not for Latinos at all. And I don't know, those Latinos, do they like being racially profiled? I don't know anybody who likes to be racially profiled. That's all I'm saying. Are your friends telling you that, Stuart? You're close. Do you have close Latino friends who are telling you this? I'm just saying. These policies are not good for Latinos, for Black people. White people, we're doing okay. I don't mind being the minority. I'm not scared of that. It's fine with me. I think a lot of white people are scared that they're scared that the whiteness is somehow going away. But this country is not a white country. We are a country built of immigrants from all over the world, you know? And hey, Stuart, I appreciate your opinion. Appreciate everybody's opinion. Thanks for tuning in to Samson's World, where court, comedy, culture, and your world collide. We said a lot today, guys. I love you. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of the world.
Can you freestyle rap at all?
Not yet.
Doesn't it appear to be extremely coincidental that you guys arrest people right outside of Governor Newsom's press conference? Is this really just a show of power?